everybody, welcome back to the Dabbler's Den. It's Chris Cottrell, and I just wanted to put together a quick video. There's been a lot going on lately, not necessarily in relation to making videos, but definitely with the Carolina Bays and the Younger Dryas impact. And I kind of wanted to go ahead and just kind of document this on the channel. I've been getting a lot of local support for our endeavors. I made the video a couple weeks ago about the dig we did up in North Carolina with George Howard and Antonio Zamora and Michael Davies, and we had a great time putting that kind of stuff together. And now it's time to analyze all the information that we got from that dig. And like I said, I've been getting a lot of local support, and I realized that the only way for you guys to know about it is for me to share that stuff. And I'm really terrible at tooting my own horn, but let me just go ahead and read a couple of these articles that have come out just recently. Again, this is the only way I can think of to document it on the channel, is to just show you and to read these things. I'm flattered with the with the attention it's been getting, but like I said, it's not really my style to toot my own horn like that. So let me just read these articles, and just like I said, I want you guys to know about them, and I want it to be documented on the channel. So now, as I mentioned, before I could go on that trip, I had to get coverage and all that kind of stuff. Being a school teacher, it's not easy to take a day off in the middle of the week. So I had to let my administration know what was going on, and the support has just been fantastic. They shared it with our county. The person that handles all of our media and things like that. And she came and interviewed me, and this is what came out of that. And this was actually for a Terrific Teacher Tuesday edition of the school's website and our social media accounts. And it's titled Chris Cottrell, CCHS's Geology Super Sleuth. I gotta love that. Mr. Cottrell is a CCHS science teacher and geology super sleuth. Ms. Cottrell has a passion for geosciences and a particular interest in researching and investigating the possibility that the Earth was involved in a fragmented comet impact at the end of our most recent ice age. Not satisfied with just reading about his interests, Mr. Cottrell has joined fellow scientists in the field to uncover this mystery. As part of a group of geological scientists from all over the world, Mr. Cottrell worked with the Comet Research Group doing field work in the Carolina Bay Formation. Just this past weekend, Mr. Cottrell helped excavate the area and collect geological samples for research. This fall, this fall, CCHS students in Mr. Cottrell's class will have the opportunity to analyze these samples for evidence of the comet's impact. Our students' work in the lab may be vitally important in helping to solve this centuries-old geological mystery. Students may even be recognized for their contributions to this discovery in academic papers written about this groundbreaking work. Because he is working to bridge the gap between the classroom and real-life scientific discovery, Mr. Cottrell truly is a terrific teacher. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, I've really really enjoyed reading that. I'm terrible at tooting my own horn, so I'm glad that somebody was able to help with that, I guess. And so, because of this article, the local newspaper also came by and talked to me about the project that we're doing. And this was actually on the front page of our local newspaper. If you give a student a bag of dirt, science will happen. Ever had a teacher give you 30 bags of dirt that may prove an extinction level geological theory as a lab project? That's what Camden County High School science teacher Chris Cottrell recently did for his juniors and seniors. Cottrell was one of 4 researchers invited to study soil samples from a dig in the Carolina Bays. These samples could prove a comet impact event from around 12,900 years ago, like Sherlock Holmes. And with the help of his students acting as Watson, Cottrell hopes to piece together impact evidence from the collected soil. Cottrell deduces his YouTube channel, thanks to you guys, high school lab, and working with students may be why he was. Here's the rest of the article. Why he was selected for the invitational dig. I'm almost positive the reason why I got the invite is because I have access to a lab, Cottrell said. I told my kids this was a good opportunity for us to be part of, and they thought it was really cool. Prepped with his slideshow and laminated graphics, Cottrell explained the opportunity to his students and sharing his nearly 20-year interest with the Carolina Bays, a series of circular depressions thought to be caused by the impact of a comet. The very first thing I do in my class is present my info on Carolina bays, Cottrell said. Carolina bays go from New York all the way down to Florida, and they're just fascinating. As far as the invitational dig, Cottrell's YouTube channel, the Dabbler's Den, focused on geology and the outdoors, caught the interest of members from the Comet Research Group, comprised of 65 scientists from around the world. Although Cottrell considers himself an independent researcher, research group director George Howard invited him to a Carolina Bay dig in August in North Carolina. Howard coordinated the heavy duty dig equipment and invited Cottrell and three other researchers for a weekend. It's the first time this has ever been done, Cottrell said. We dug three gigantic holes, and anywhere there was a break in the soil, we collected sediments. The soil Cottrell collected for examination is similar to the evidence collected from the comet impact, coinciding with the dinosaur extinction impact event 65 million years ago. The sediment breaks indicate there may be platinum, a rare element found in big impact events like the iridium found in the stone black mat layer after the dinosaur extinction. We are seeing the same thing with this event 12,900 years ago, but this time we have a black mat layer in, and this should be dirt. It says rock, but it should be dirt, he said. They found a lot of iridium with the dinosaur extinction event. We did not find a lot of iridium, but we did find a lot of platinum, which is another rare metal on Earth, common in impacts. Cottrell loaded 30 samples into his truck for his students to test. As far as the historical perspective, there has been a lot of talk in these scientific communities to raise Carolina bays back into the limelight, suggesting comet impact, Cottrell said. About 20,000 years ago, as we were coming out of the last ice age, it should have been a nice, smooth process to the interglacial period, he explained. Instead, there was a 1,200-year younger Dryas period cooling. That period may be caused by the comet, which is theorized to have formed the Carolina Bays. First discovered in the 1920s and 30s, the Carolina Bays are named for an actual plant that grows in the depressions, Cottrell said. We think there was an impact event that happened on the ice sheet that was here during the Ice Age, Cottrell said. No crater has ever been found, but if it went into the ice, then the crater would have been in the ice. We think we had an impact into the ice, and the blowout from the from the impact itself created the Carolina Bays. Carolina Bays are these perfectly elliptical shapes, and so a group of us think these are related to the impact event. They are all the same shape and are all pointed in the same direction. After the Wright brothers plane allowed people to see a new perspective, Google Earth and satellite images also propelled the research. LIDAR uses lasers to detect elevations where several thousand of these spherical shapes can be seen. Couple problems there. That's okay. As far as the lab experience, the evidence is in the soil. Cottrell hopes his students will be able to find it during a brand new lab opportunity funded by Howard. Cottrell emailed Dr. Alan West, also part of the Comet Research Group, to help with the protocol of the classroom lab tests. The steps are detailed and must be done perfectly every time, exactly the way other labs test materials from other sites across the country. The process is simple but time consuming. In each of the 30 bags collected needs to be labeled, separated into 250-gram samples. The first couple of grams will be sent into a lab to check for things like platinum, and then the class will process the soil to extract metal and review it microscopically, Cottrell said. Students will be part of the whole process as part of a lab in school, and then 2 or 3 kids can come in after school to help with the microscopes looking for magnetic spherules. The only form that only form under extreme pressures and heats and can be further evidence of impact events. And then use wooden probes to pick out the sphericals by hand. This isn't a one-time only opportunity as the students establish themselves as part of this study and learn how to do the painstaking process. Other researchers from all over the world may send them soil samples to analyze, Cottrell said. Beyond classroom credit, Camden students might also get scholarly research credit for their work as scientists in the Comet Research Group publish their findings. But first, there's work to do. we've got a lot to go through, Cottrell said. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to read those to you. I wanted to get them out there. Again, I highly doubt any of you subscribe to our local newspaper. And so unless I shared it with you guys, you probably wouldn't know about it. I'm proud of it. I'm glad that I'm